Hey, you can grow your own onions. As you can see in this photo from last year, these are Walla Walla onions, and I figured out what works best for me. It may not work for you, but this is what works for me. These are onion sets. I was using these for several years, and they were not working out for me. You can find them in all kinds of box stores, like Tractor Supply. These are onion starts that you might find at nursery, and you actually can peel apart each little leaf that's a plant and plant it as a bulb. I like to order mine right now from Dixondale Farms, and this is how they turn out. They actually are in bunches, and I separate the bunches, and I use the largest ones first. So here's a photo of some of the onions I planted this morning, and I cover them with half tomato cages, just in case the chickens get in there. It's going to be a lot harder for them to scratch them out. Because I learned over the years, if the chickens get in there, they scratch them all out, I got to replant them, and that's no good. Tam does not like that. And then you can see that there's rows and there's trenches between them. Dixondale gives this nice little illustration where you basically make a mound, and on either side there's a channel where water can flow out, extra water. And then you plant your onions about 4 inches or 4 fingers apart. I like to stagger them so they have room to spread out. And I don't plant the starts very deep at all, just enough so that the roots are covered by soil. And then I firm them in so they're not going to move around very much, hopefully. As the roots grow down into the ground, they become a lot more secure. And speaking of roots, they have very shallow roots, but they do require about 2 inches of water per week and a very rich soil. And then you'll back down to about 1 inch when they start making bulbs. And then you're going to back down quite a bit when they are going to be harvested for storage. So make sure wherever you plant it that the plants around them also need that type of watering. Like carrots. Carrots are a really good addition to in between the onion rows because the onions are shallow, but the carrots go deep. And again, you're going to want to have very enriched soil, like with compost, amended with compost. So when I plant my onions very shallow, to make sure I can still see the color of the onions, they can topple over from really strong winds. And we get strong winds that come from the west that go to the east. So from the right to the left side of the screen, I figure I'm going to use that curve of the leaves and to my advantage and plant them facing east to see if they will stay upright a little bit easier. You don't need a whole lot of space to plant onions. Right there is 50. And between these two beds, there's 109 that I planted this morning. Just make sure that you keep at least enough space so they can bulb out. And here at the end, I'm going to include a video I did of after I planted in the front raised kitchen garden beds so you can see the difference. Oh, and if you plant right now, you would harvest around the 4th of July. So around Independence Day if you plant now.